In the name of our ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what I call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the gatekeeper, the host of this program. No matter where you find me, I am known as the mighty, mighty, mighty Angel Snub 7. I am your soul brother, number one, and hopefully your friend, Taalik Ibn'rad. I would like to, of course, begin by giving the greetings to my family in the chat room, who seem to always be ready for Freddie when we have these spontaneous get-togethers. A shout out to our soul brother 85 and our brother 10 Pyramid. Let me put you up on the screen. This is soul brother 85 and this is Twin Pyramid. Okay, so of course, I thank you so much for being here with us on this spontaneous broadcast. And you might think that this is very soon to continue to do a live stream after we spent almost 4 hours together. Was it last night? I don't even remember. I guess it was last night or the night before. But again, our motto is never put off tomorrow what you can do today. Tomorrow is not promised. So I was thinking about this very short and brief subject, and I decided, let me talk about it. I want to thank you, all of you, my audience, and those who might just be passers-by, but you have a little empathy for persons in dire situations. I thank you for your donations towards my medical fundraiser. I appreciate it. It has helped me much. And I will never forget this great help that I certainly need in this time. Can I put that on the screen? Okay, let's see if we can. Those who would like to donate to my medical fundraiser, it is in the description box of this video. As well, I'm putting the information in the chat room. Also, we thank you so much for your purchase and your support of Sister Noble Levine's book, Alberta Parish, her book, God is on Trial. In her behalf, I thank you so much for your support in that endeavor. Our making our goal, our minimum goal in supporting the sister, and your word of mouth. And so far, we're doing pretty good. You don't expect to do real good when you are real. If we was here making up stories and fairy tales and make-believe, we could do much better, and I could do that. Our Sister Noble could do that. It would bother my conscience. It would hurt me real bad because I know I'm telling you a lie. I know I am just feeding your ego. I'm giving you unearned credit for something you don't deserve. I am telling you a lie about something that certainly don't exist. So I am happy with my 10 subscribers. I am happy with my 10 views because they are real. Your thousands and hundreds or whatever might be real, might not be. Many of these people don't care as long as they get a certain amount of donations. I don't care. I'm getting paid. And that's all what it's about for many of these persons. They getting paid. They think small. Do you realize the fame, the notoriety, the martyrdom? You will be remembered forever as long as these people exist. If you would do something on the level of a Mississippi campaign, take control of a state, and it's really more than that. Those who can comprehend, those who have vision, you can see it's the beginning of something very glorious. But you will settle for crumbs, because this is crumbs. Your $1 million and your $1 billion, that's crumbs compared to what you can actually get in this life. And the future generations, instead of looking at us as the most pathetic, pitiful, incompetent pieces of trash generation, they will forever hold us on a pedestal to be the greatest generation ever produced. And those who were able to actually, because you say it's impossible, but it's not. Nothing is impossible. Well, racism will always be here. Racism is here because it's wanted. Racism is here is because those who benefit from racism want it, of course, and those who are victims of racism embrace it. That's why racism exists, because you want it. But once you don't want it, because racism comes in many forms, and racism is flexible. Racism, pink supremacy, whatever you want to call it, that's a bad boy. But everything has an Achilles heel. Everything that we know of is vulnerable to something. You want it. You just don't want the white man in control. So we have racists in training. So maybe white supremacy will be put to the side, but now we have black supremacy or Asian supremacy or African supremacy, whatever you want to call it. So racism continues to live. That's why it's hard to kill, because you want it. It's like roaches in the house. How can you kill roaches in the house when you really want them for whatever reason? You want these roaches in your house. You just don't want the white man in control. But you don't mind racism because you are racist in training. You don't mind. You really like it. You just want to be the slave owner. And I even heard some of these people say that. I heard them say they want to be the slave owner. They want to be the massa. They want to exchange places. So in reality, they don't find nothing really wrong with racism. They just don't want to be the victim, the one on the bottom when it comes to racism. That's sad. It's tacky. This Mississippi campaign can break that and destroy it once and for all, which is beneficial to all humanity and take you to heights you've never been before. You talk about God, but you really don't know what that is. You have a spooky understanding of what God is. You have a spooky understanding of the power of God. You have a spooky understanding of how to get things done. So you sit here and you wait on a miracle. So you sit here and you keep doing the same thing over and over again. Maybe one day black supremacy will work. Maybe one day Kemetic stuff will work. Maybe one day the Hebrew Israelite, the Moorish Science Temple, all these things, maybe Jesus, all these things that we gravitate to for all these at least over 100 some years. One day it's going to work. Have you ever seen somebody with a hammer trying to nail something and the nail does not go through? For some reason, no matter how much you hammer, what's wrong? Maybe there's a piece of concrete underneath the wood. Something is stopping this nail from going through, but you don't care. Hammer supposed to nail, it's supposed to work. You're not trying to figure out why isn't this working. So, cool. Keep doing your Moorish thing, but it's not working. Keep doing your Nation of Islam thing, it's not working. You hammering, but it's not getting through. And you don't know why. And you just like the food, they just keep, it's going to go through one day. It's not going to go through if there's something stopping the nail from going through the wood. Something is not right. And you can't figure it out, and you don't want to figure it out. You're going to force your way. That's not how things work. So I'll sit back and just watch all of you do your work that produces nothing. I'm not interested in doing work to feel good. Woo! Man, I work 8 hours a day. What did you produce? None. I ain't none. So what's the purpose of working and you produce nothing? I do my work. I do my... And also to remind you, all work does not produce anything. When you have a recall, that's work. They recall televisions, they recall cars, they recall food. Somebody put in some work to produce these things, but it's incompetent work. So that work, or whatever that work produced, it's recall. There's something wrong with the car. There's something wrong with the food. There's something wrong with that computer. Something is wrong. We don't want to accept it. We don't want to accept that our work is recall. That's your business. I'll sit back in the cut and just watch. I'll just watch. It's frustrating. I feel sorry for the future generations because we have the solution. The buck should stop right here in 2020 with this generation. Those of us born in the late 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s and early 2000s. We should be the generation that puts all this to an end. So future generations don't have to deal with it no more. They can become the great people that you talk about. Or are you jealous of them? Because you want what you want when you want. It's not for us. Our purpose is to clear this whole thing up so future generations can do better. That's our purpose. We're not going to be able to live the good life. We're not going to be able to see the greatness. But you can say in our lifetime, we kicked it off. We were the generation that put them and made them able to rise to the top. Maybe you're jealous of them, future generation. They're going to have to work hard as I did. They're going to have to suffer. And some of you have that attitude. That's the way you are. You don't care about your future. You really don't care. It's about you, what you want. It's not about what you want. It's about putting another people, your future generations, your children, your grandchildren, great-grand, into a better position than us. And we're not going to be able to do that no time soon with our little school, our little business, and these other little knick-knack stuff that we want to play games with. It's not going to get you nowhere. Don't take my word for it. The condition speaks for itself. Now, I want to just talk to us briefly on this subject, this topic. Due to my medical condition and due to being senile, I guess, I forgot what the topic was. Oh, the topic is trying to force your religion and your beliefs on others. Oh, we got another person in the chat room, Mr. Phil Fox. I guess we can accept. Phil Fox said, yes, put all this mess to rest, religion, voting, false hope of why we as a people, especially black people, going in the same cycle over and over. Yes, Phil is on point. Boom, whoops, there it is. That's it. That's it. And now, I'm not so terrible. And I have never asked you to give up your Moorish Science Temple or your Nation of Islam or your Jesus. I've never asked you that. But there comes a time when you are going to have to learn how to adapt to new things. And see, your current mindset don't allow you to embrace new strategy, new ideas. You should be able to be a Christian and a Muslim or more and still be able to embrace when you see something that's not working, like if you was working on your car. You see something that's not working, just try something else. This is no different. Try something else. The most important thing is getting the job done. What do you want? I want liberation. When do you want it? Now. What do you want? Liberation. When do you want it? Now. I'm tired of people talking about, well, you know, we've been in this for 500 years and it's going to take a... No, I don't want to hear that crap. Phil, do you want to hear that stuff? Soul Brother 85, Twin, do y'all want to keep hearing that garbage? It's going to take 500 years. Well, it took 5,000 years. It's going to take another. Who want to hear that? That means I'm going to be dead. Phil's going to be dead. Soul, Twin. So what's this? So what if it's going to take that long? We might as well just enjoy our life. If it's going to take 500 years, because we're not going to be around to know nothing or do nothing anyway. People who know what they're doing can give you a timetable. My computer is broke. I can get it. I can fix it. I'll get it back to you in 3 days. My pipes is leaking. Give me a day. Give me 24 hours. I have your pipes fixed. We have to have timetables. Don't come to me and talk about, well, and scratching your head, and you thinking about cornbread and pork chops, talking about, well, you see, we've been in this for 500 years, and you see, and it's gonna take some time. What kind of time? Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody in the business world want to hear that kind of stuff. Nobody in the real world wants to hear. Well, it's gonna take some. What kind of time? And then they write out the contracts. You build a house and you tell the person, I'm going to have your house done in certain amount of time. Everything is on a timetable. The baby is on a timetable. When that woman finds out that she's pregnant, you expect that baby to show up in 9 months or less. There's a timetable. When you put a seed in the ground, you expect that plant to grow up within a certain timetable so that you can harvest the tomatoes, the corn, the peaches, or whatever. It is ridiculous to me. And don't come to me with this crap talk about, well, it took 500 years ago. You making excuses for being a loser and incompetent because you don't know what you're doing. The only people that will talk like that are those who don't know what they're doing. I'm going to produce or I'm going to sit my ass down, one or the other. But see, these suckers don't want to sit down. They want to keep taking your money, don't produce nothing or very little, and just keep running their damn mouth, feeding you these fairy tales, these delusions, and these stories, and give you nothing in return. I'm sick of it. I'm not into that no more. I can't do that. I want mine now. And you should want yours too. If these people are not offering you a timetable, they're not real. They do not know what the hell they're doing. And as far as I know, nobody is offering a timetable except me and what we call the Mississippi campaign. If we cannot produce, we sit down. Simple as that. And we put everything on a timetable. We're going to do this. This is the first step. It should take this amount of time. Did we make our goal? If we didn't, give us just a little taste more so that we can make it. Okay, now we make it. Then we go to the next step. Everything's on timetable so that you can win. Tired of being a loser. Keep talking about the black man is God and black people is so great. And you're a loser on the bottom of society. How can you talk? It don't make any sense to me. You're on the bottom of society talking about I'm a king, I'm a queen, I'm a goddess and a god, and you're on the bottom of society. Still begging for reparation. You gave the Indians reparation. You gave the Japanese. I'm not giving you nothing. But you supposed to. You gave. I don't have to give you nothing. And they don't give you nothing. So since we know all this, shouldn't we be smart enough, wise enough? You a god and a goddess, a king and a queen. You can get what you earn, what you deserve, with or without them. But you're not that. You're not the greatest. You're not a king. You're not a queen. You're not all that stuff. Your actions don't demonstrate. It's just feel-good rhetoric. It's not real. When I win, I'm a winner for real. I don't want to pretend if, ands, or buts, I'm a winner. That's what you should want. If I'm a king, I have a kingdom. If I have a queen, I have a queendom. I'm not going to put these titles on me. Well, if you're a king or a queen, where's your kingdom at? Well, you see, 5,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, you weren't even alive 5,000 years ago. You have nothing. You have nothing because you have not earned nothing. You are a god and a goddess. What kind of power do you have? No. They never tell you what kind of power they have. Have none. You're on the bottom of society, tripping on these fairy tales and these delusions that you have made up in your head. Give me a second. I'll be right back. God or fake. Yeah, God of fairy tales, God of delusions, cartoons. Sure enough, sure enough. Speaking of God, when I was growing up, as many of you probably can find, you can relate, I grew up in the rural Mississippi South in the early 1960s. My family was Christians. I don't know exactly what kind of Christian. I believe Baptist. So, but I do know we was Christians. We believed in Jesus. I never saw an image of Jesus in the church, but my family would buy Bibles, and all the images in the Bible was, of course, Caucasian people. I didn't trip off of it, and I don't think they tripped off of it either. They believed in Jesus Christ. Now, what I love about my grandfather, my grandmother, my mother, and my father, and all those in my family there, I told you, we was Baptists. We believed in Jesus. But my grandfather, grandmother, my mother, my father, other relatives that was around me at the time, they did not force the religion on the children. We just picked it up because just watching them. They never sat down with us and talked about Jesus and death and going to heaven and hell and whatever. We learned that when we actually went to church and listened to the preacher. I was not forced to go to church. My mother would dress up, and she loved to sing in the choir. She would get ready, put on her Sunday best, and spray her throat with lemon juice to help her voice so she could sing. She never forced me to go to church with her. I wanted to go because mama leaving. Can I go, mama? Like children, we didn't want to be home alone. We want to be with our mom. We want to be with our parents. So if mama go to church, can I go? And she said, yeah. I didn't have to go. I could have stayed at home, played with the pigs, played with the chickens, play with the dog, go out in the field, play with the rabbits or whatever. I go to church with my mother. And we had a good time singing and praising and serving the Lord. That's what we done. We was Christians. We was Baptists. Nobody was forced to go to church. Now, as a young person, I think I was 9 years old, 8 and a half or 9. We moved from rural Mississippi to the state of Illinois. And things was different. They really was materialistic. Always asking for money, gossiping, slander. And my mother didn't like that. So my mother stopped going to church. Because as far as she was concerned, that's not what serving Jesus, serving the Lord was about. Making fun of people, gossiping, slander, making mockery of people, money hungry, pass the plate 4 or 5 times. My mother was like, what all this got to have to do with with Jesus and in Christ. So she stopped going and I stopped going. Now, prior to us moving, I was influenced by the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. I have relatives that had been converted to Islam as taught by Elijah Muhammad. And I was attracted to those teachings, not necessarily because of the God concept, but the brotherhood and the sisterhood. That's what I was attracted to. I love the family type of structure that the Nation of Islam represented as a little boy. That's what I wanted. So let me put Phil's comment on the board there. So now, my mother is a Christian. She never told me, I don't want you to believe in that Muslim stuff. Now, she did not like it. My mother did not like Nation of Islam teaching. She called it garbage. I should have listened to my mom. I should have listened to my mom. She called Nation of Islam teachings garbage. But she did not stop me. If that's what I felt I wanted to do, go ahead, boy, that's your thing. That's your belief. It has nothing to do with me. And see, this is how we really supposed to be. This is the mindset and the behavior that we're supposed to have. But now, moving to Illinois, there's a whole different environment. I saw children forced. The children was actually crying because they did not want to come to church. I saw children, the parents was actually dragging them, the child trying to run away, dragging them into the church. I never was forced to go to church. Absolutely. Absolutely. My mother gave me free will as a child. My mother gave me free will as a child. You can be a Christian or Muslim. You don't have to be none at all. That's your business, son. But you have those, a lot of those. They talk about free will. They talk about freedom. But really, it's a dictatorship. They want you to be whatever they think you need to be, even if it's by force. And the reason why we are Christians and Muslims and a lot of these different religions is because violence and force was used to put this on the people, and then it was passed down from generation to generation. The original ancestors did not believe in Islam or Christianity or Judaism or these other religions. It was forced on the masses. The rebels was killed, and the people submit, and they forced this on the people, and then they passed this lie, these fairy tales down from generation. And even prior to the three major Abrahamic religion all over the world, that's how they was coming to being. They was forced on the citizens. This spirituality, religion and spirituality, and living, forcing these fairy tales and delusions on the people for thousands of years. And so we have been conditioned for thousands of years to believe in spirits and spooks and demons and all this nonsense. So it's not our fault we so spookified. It's been going on for thousands of years. So it's a force thing, all of it. Because it's not natural for you to believe in spirits. You was taught that. There's nothing in our reality that's a sign of some type of damn spirit or a demon or a ghost. All this stuff was taught to us. All this was taught to us. Reality don't have to be taught. You will experience it sooner or later. The reason why we believe in spirits and dimensions and these different realms and all this science fiction garbage is because we was taught all this stuff. We was taught it by a man. Not a demon, not a God, not some spirit. A man taught us all this foolishness, all this garbage. And what it is, it's a way to control people. Make you docile, have you waiting on some spirit and a spook, or you're going to live in another life, use you as a slave. You look into the sky, you look into another world dimension, and you won't fight for your rights and your life right here on this planet. And then you laugh at the slave because that's what the slave was told, that they would get their heaven after they die. And basically all of you do the same damn thing. It's all the same concept. I'm going to die and I'm going to go into all these different dimensions. I'm going to get mine. It don't make no difference what happened in my flesh. I'm going to get mine when I go to dimension 7. I'm going to get mine when I go to dimension 8, somewhere out in the universe. I'm going to turn to a ball of gas and fly around and visit all the planets and heaven and hell and all this nonsense. I can't. Woo! Brother Daniel, you should call in and talk to the people, brother. Brother Daniel is a very well versed, very intelligent brother. I'm so happy to know my brother Daniel. And he has so much information, especially when it comes to the Nation of Islam and Africa. Because, I really don't talk about Africa a lot. And brother Daniel, both of us, really, we were sort of in the Nation of Islam around the same period of time. I was there earlier. I probably was getting ready to go out when he was coming in, something like that. But I can't take it no more. These fairy tales. These lies. Right, Soul Brother 85. These lies. It's lies. And look at the condition it keeps us in. It's not my fault. It's your fault. You keep believing in cartoons. Woody Woodpecker crap. The Woody Woodpecker Muslim. The Daffy Duck Hebrew Israelite. Y'all believe in all these? These are all cartoons. These beliefs not doing nothing for you at all. Feel good, make believe cartoons. So my mother stopped going to church because she saw the greed, the unrighteous behavior, and all these different things. I could do bad by myself. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to better myself. How I'm going to better myself being around all these people who are exhibiting, I'm trying to be righteous. How I'm going to better myself being around all these people who are pretending to be righteous. If you are an alcoholic and you want to get better, you cannot hang around alcoholics because they are going to encourage you to start drinking again. Do you know why you're not getting any better in our situation? Because the leadership and what you are involved in is not real. So since you are not in reality, you are focusing on these delusions and this metaphysical stuff, or whatever you want to call it. How does that, what does that do for us in the real world? Now, it might mean something in your imagination, in your fantasy world. It has done nothing. It does not do anything for us in real time. So I don't want nothing to do with it. And you can get angry and all that you want to. That's your business. I have been on social media since 2007. And just for your information, I have had, since yesterday, 9 videos flagged. Why are they flagging me like that? And then the flag was removed and the video was put on age restriction. Here I am. I only have 10 subscribers, 10 views. Why do Google find it necessary, or whoever, to flag my videos? Why is that necessary? These are old videos, been around a long time. Now all of a sudden, we need to flag them. Why is that? I've had 100 channels terminated. Why you don't want Angel Snup 7 to speak? Why you don't want Angel? It's simple. It's because I am the one that really is awakening the mind. I am the one that's really a truth teller. I'm really the one that's keeping it real. You want folks to stay fake, stay in their delusion, stay metaphysical, stay wherever. That's not real. I want you to think for yourself. You don't have to think like me. I want you to think for yourself. Learn how to use your brain. So I saw little children being forced to go to church. And when I was in the Nation of Islam, they did the same thing. I saw the parents forcing their children to wear bow ties and the little MGT garment. They forced their children to do these things. Many of you out there, you force these things on your children by force. And so if Angel Snup 7 rebels against your religion, this is what you tell me. Well, you know you might be going to hell. Allah is going to punish you. You're not going to be able to go into these other dimensions, these other realms, because you're not on the level. They use fear. They use these tactics to try to force you to accept something that you're not interested in. Many of us, the reason why we believe and act and do the things that we do is because it was forced on us. Like King Noble said, that's a fact. Because it was forced on us as children. The reason why now it wasn't forced, but it was forced on us as a people, Christianity, and even Islam. It was forced on the masses and then handed down from generation to generation. Violence, extreme violence was used. And many of these Muslims, many of these Christians, many of these Jews, many of these religious and spiritual folks, they know that these things was forced on the people, and they just ignore. Well, it might have been forced, but it's good for me. I know it was forced. I know violence was used, but it's good for me. The same thing, you hear some of these Negroes, yeah, we were slaves, But the white man saved us because we was in the jungles and swinging on a tree or whatever. He saved us. What was wrong living your life? If we was in the jungle swinging on a tree, what was wrong with that? How was you saved? Your life was in the jungle swinging on a tree. Somebody took you out of your natural life and put you in his life. And so here we are with this mindset and this thinking that don't belong to you. It's not natural. Believe and keep thinking about where do that word metaphysical come from? What is a metaphysical? When was the last time you seen a spirit and a ghost? All this stuff was taught to you by a man. It's nothing you ever experienced. It came from a man. And then y'all build on it. The man gave you the foundation, and then you take it and run with it. But it's a damn lie. No matter how you look at it, it's still a lie. It's still a cartoon. It's still fake. I'm not going to do that no more. Don't ask me. So you want to threaten me with going to hell? I don't mind going. Let's go. Let's go to hell. I don't mind going to hell. I want to see for myself. Let's go right now. Let's go to hell. Let's go to heaven. I want to see hell. I want to see hell. Let's go. Well, when you die, why I gotta wait till I die? You said that hell exists, and you're an expert, and you know so damn much. Let's go to hell. Let's go see. Show me. It's all lies. It's all fantasy, science fictions. It's the ignorance of ancient people passed down because they fear death. It's all about the fear of death and the unknown. So to make it more easy for you to accept your mortality, I want to tell you these lies. Instead of learning how to enjoy your life, don't you know in some cultures, death is celebrated. And they have a party. No big deal. In some cultures, you die, oh well. No big deal. Death is a part of life, so what? But they got you spookified and got you so out of your natural self. You looking for demons and spooks and trolls and all this other Candyland garbage. Look. Now, what would be best? Would it be best that you see a person and you say, look, hey man, here's $50. What you giving me $50 for? I don't know. I'm just getting this vibe. I don't think that you're doing well. I just want to do something good for somebody. Take this $50. Hey, thank you. Or is it better that that person take a gun and point it to your head, your money or your life? How do the black men supposed to hold the gun like this? Your money or your life? The same $50. Would you rather that you be able to, by your own free will, give the $50, or would you rather somebody put a gun to your head, your money or your life? That's what religion does to people. If you don't do what Allah say, if you don't do what Yahweh say, or whatever these gods say, if you don't do what this spiritual stuff, they put a gun to your head. They threaten you. That's what religion does. Not only that, you got people trying to force us to be Africans. What kind of African I'm supposed to be? They don't really know. They want you to be Native Americans now. And they get angry and upset and want to beat you up, call you all kinds of names, try to force things on you. So if you force things on somebody, it's not real. Because I did not want to give you my money. But you say, if I don't give you the money, it's money or your life. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Here, take the money. So how do you look at the robber? Are you really going to love the robber? Are you really going to like the robber? No, of course not. Because the robber, if the robber came to you and said, look, man, I'm doing really bad. I need $50. Could you help me out? And then you were able to voluntarily, sincerely, hey, I got an extra $50, brother. Here, man. Have a blessed day. That's better than your money or your life. But that's what religion does. That's what all this spiritual stuff does. If I tell you I'm not interested in your religion and your spirituality, why don't you leave me alone? Start sending me all kinds of books and articles and information, and don't bother me. I told you I'm not interested. They try to force themselves on you because I'm right. God or some force revealed all this great information to them. That's good for you. I don't want it. My mother, my people never forced nothing on me. None of their religions, none of their personal beliefs. They want you to go to school, learn how to read, write, so you can get a decent job, take care of yourself. But as far as their personal beliefs, they kept that to themselves. My grandmother never forced me. Yeah, right, absolutely. See, Phil is on point. It's like rape of the mind. It's like raping somebody. And these people don't realize it as long as they get what they want. Brother hate me. A brother hate my guts because I don't want to be an African. I'm not an African. I don't have to accept that. I told you the reason why I'm not an African, and you should accept that. You are African. You filled with self-hate. So they start making mockery of you. That's where all this atheism crap comes from. Atheism is the religious way of trying to make mockery of people who reject the belief in God. That's where it comes from. Because it's natural for us not to believe in God. That's a taught behavior. That's a learned behavior. It's natural. If somebody did not teach us about metaphysical or Christianity or the Moorish Science Temple or the Hebrew Israelite stuff, we wouldn't care nothing about none of that crap because it's not natural. It's not natural. We are living unnatural life. You wrong, brother. You can call me wrong all you want to or whatever, and you can keep, like I told you, I don't care what you believe. But the bottom line is, when you try to force your religion and get mad because somebody don't have no interest in your opinion or your belief, and you get angry, you are a rapist, a potential rapist. That's what you are. In the Quran, it says, there is no compulsion. Look, let me show you how hypocritical, look. Let me show you how hypocritical the Quran is. Islam is. Now, the Quran says there's no compulsion in Islam, but if you don't get with the program and believe in Allah and all that Arab stuff, there's a great punishment coming for you. Now, If I'm a righteous person, I don't drink, I don't smoke. The only thing I don't do is give my life to Jesus. Why would God punish me? That's not fair. I'm more righteous than the people that accepted. A lot of the people that accepted Jesus Christ, backsliders, hypocrites. But you're going to choose them over me when I'm actually doing what the God said to do. I'm just not giving credit to God or Jesus Christ or Allah or whatever. Why would you choose them over me when I'm really the righteous and they're not? They backsliders, they smoked, they drank, committed fornication, they've done all dirt in the world. I'm clean. I'm doing exactly what you say. I'm just not saying God this and Jesus Christ or whatever. And this God would choose them over me. See, that God is not right. I don't want nothing to do with nobody like that. You want to force your crap on somebody. Well, I tell you this. I don't like that. And I never do. I never get angry at anything that somebody, if people talk, they can talk about the Mississippi campaign. They can talk about me. They can talk about what I say. You never hear me get angry over that. They have the right to believe in their opinion, whatever. I don't trip off of it. I'm not trying to force or convert you to anything. The only thing I would like for you to do is use your brain, because I know if you use your brain and start thinking for yourself, I already know we're going to be on the same level. So there's no need for me to get angry. The problem here is we're not using our brain. Somebody else is in control, dead or alive. Somebody else is feeding our thoughts. There's nothing unique about us. There's nothing original about us anymore. When you get into religion and spirituality and all these different things, it's like you're like a lifeless clone, like you was produced on an assembly line, and everybody think the same. Everybody trying to be the same. That's not what life is about. Life is diverse. Life is different. Life is unique. Life is always evolving and producing life. And you stuck. You don't produce nothing. You stuck right here on the earth, waiting to die. You're not going nowhere. You're not going to no other realm. You're not going to turn into a ball of gas and fly around to SpaceX. You're not that's your imagination. It ain't my imagination. Well, prove it then. Come to the live stream right now. Come to the live stream right now and show us your heaven and your hell and your different realms. Show us some pictures. The next time you go to Dimension ZZX, take your camera and take pictures and bring it back so we can see. The next time somebody go to hell, tell them to take their cell phone, come back and show us what this hell look like. Other than that, you are a liar. I'm going to call you what you really are. You are a liar. You are a fibber. That's what you are. And you should be shamed. And then they tell these lies and force these lies on these children. And I would assume the children know it's lies. That's why they don't want to go to church. They don't want to go to the mosque. They don't want to hear all that metaphysical, all that garbage. They don't want to hear it. Because even as a child, their nature tells them, sound like a lie to me. You force it on them. May my mother rest in peace. May my grandparents rest in peace. Nobody is the best parent in the world. But I have to give them props. They never forced nothing on me. Just like the brother said earlier, they allowed me to have free will. I feel sorry for those children also. There's no shame because they're looking for slaves. All these people want slaves for their plantation. I tell you that all the time. That's what it's about. The whole God concept is about slavery. God is the slave master, the definite article, the slave master, the ultimate slave master, and we would be the slaves. And on a lower level, Farrakhan, Tariq Nasheed, Pastor Hagen, whoever, they want their slaves. It's all about slavery. It's all about slavery. We don't do that here. We are seeking 1000% liberation, physically and mentally. And if you cannot produce clear, convincing, and overwhelming evidence to show that what you're talking about is real, I don't want to hear it. Well, see, I don't have to understand nothing. If you show me an apple, what is there to understand? The apple is right there in my face. You want me to talk about the iPhone number 12? Put it in my face. There it is. What is there to understand? The iPhone is in my face. The apple is in my face. Whatever that is real, you can put it right there in my face. What is there to understand? But see, you can't do that because what you're talking about don't exist. It's a damn lie. And I'm not going to promote that. I always knew something was wrong. I always knew that something was wrong with those teachings. I just couldn't put my finger on it. But now we know. And so now was born what we call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. The reason why I exist is because it's time. It's time to break all this stuff up. You're not going to convert me to nothing. I'm not going to be a Muslim. I'm not going to be metaphysical. I'm not going to astral project out my body. I'm not going to be a Hebrew Israelite. I'm not going to be none of that stuff. I'm not going to be Kemetic. I'm not going to be some unspecified African. I'm not going to be the red, black, and the green. I'm not going to be none of that. Because they had their time. And if you was going to do anything for humanity, why didn't you do it? It's a parasite. You take and you exploit. You do nothing for humanity except make slaves. There's no benefit to the human being. Can't do it no more. It is time that we be free for real. I don't want a white slave master and I don't want a Negro slave master either. Both of them suck. And I don't want God as a slave master. I'm not serving God. I'm not worshiping no God. I'm not giving no credit to no God. I'm not interested. I would rather go extinct. I'd rather not exist. You should be sick of slavery. You should be sick of being exploited. Why you always got to be number two? Farrakhan is better than you. God is better than you. Abraham. The hell, ain't nobody better than me. I'm not going to accept that. Jesus better than you. No, Jesus is not better than me. Well, that's low self-esteem, people. Nobody is better than me. I don't care what you do. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care how smart you believe you are. Nobody better than me. So you can take all that stuff and kick rocks because it's not going to work here. Nobody is better than me. Michael Jackson is not better than me. Prince is not better than me. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is not better than me. Malcolm X is not better than me. I'm not accepting that. Nobody better than me. I will respect you for your talent. I appreciate the good deeds that you do, but I'm not going to sit around here and talk about you better than me. No, you're not better than me. I got to bow down to you and worship you so special. The only way you can get to God is through Jesus. Are you serious? Why I got to go through Jesus? The only way you can get to Allah is through the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Who the hell is he? See, y'all all messed up. Y'all all messed up. When you are in your house with your family, all the children should have access to mommy and daddy. How would you feel if your mother and father said, well, y'all can't talk to us, y'all got to go through your older brother first? You be like, what? How come we can't talk to mom and dad? See, the whole concept don't make any sense. If God is the father, I should have the same access, the same communication with Allah as Farrakhan or any of these other suckers out here. You messing yourself up. You tripping because you don't think. We think here. The dragon says facts. We need to find our own free energy sources and be self-dependent. That is what the Mississippi campaign is all about. The beginning of something really big for us. We can't even comprehend, we can't even imagine. The Mississippi campaign will open doors, blow your mind, because you've never been there before. And no fairy tales. Put in the work, the real work, and you're going to produce something that's real for yourself. And you're going to find out, once you're able to really get into it, it was easier than you thought. And you'll say to yourself, wow, we could have done this generations ago. Well, that's over with. We can't go back generations ago. It's about the now. Doing it now while you have the time. This is the perfect environment to get the job done. But we can't get it done because people are living 5,000 years ago, 100,000 years ago, 100 years ago. They flying around in dimension number X and all these different kinds of stuff. We live in these delusional worlds. And that's the purpose of religion and spirituality. The purpose of it is to keep the people in a slave-like condition so you don't rise up and take control of your reality, your flesh. This is all that you know. Got you looking in space. And you laugh at the slaves. They were slaves. And you doing the same thing. No different, no better. And you get angry at me because I was one of those slaves on the plantation that said, hey, we need to run away. Hey, we need to take these pitchforks and kill the massa. What? Kill massa? Run away? Jesus will fix it. Yes, he will. Jesus will fix it. Allah will fix it. They don't sing in the Nation of Islam, but it's basically the same thing. All praises due to Allah for the honor. Same thing, you still singing. Still singing your ass off. You're still a damn slave. So you angry at me. Because I'm keeping it real. I have no choice. If you want this situation to change, we got to do things different. We have to think differently. look at things differently, a new strategy, new ideas. We have to have a real agenda, a purpose and a goal, a vision and a timetable. You don't care nothing about your future generations. You really don't. Because if you did, you would be getting on board the soul train. And let's do that for them. So when I take my last breath, I can go into the dirt knowing they on their way. They are on their way. Hallelujah, I'm so happy. But right now, if we continue the way that we do, when I take my last breath, the only thing I can do is just barely shake my head. It's like, wow. They're going to get it. They're going to get it. There is no beautiful future for you until you take your destiny in your own hands. You will continue to suffer as long as you allow others to control your destiny, allow others to guide you. And you have no purpose, you have no goal, you have no vision, you have no creativity. You're done. Like an old pan of cornbread. It's over. So the only thing waiting on you is extinction or death or right back into physical slavery. You think that's impossible, but it's not. No, it's not. You have people in physical slavery right now in the world. So why is it impossible for you? Well, see, because you special. God is with you and you can fly out your body and you can do all this supernatural stuff. And you so smart and you a king. Okay. Remember, they had kings and queens, slaves on the plantation, right? There you go. There you go. And speaking of go, on that note, let me get out of here. I just wanted to come here and bring this talk to us because I don't know why you want to force your religion and your beliefs on somebody, because if they take that, it's not real. All the time, I used to go to Muhammad's mosque. They always ask me, brother, when you coming back to the Nation of Islam? When you coming back? I told them I don't believe in this no more. But they don't want to accept that. Why would you want somebody that they don't really don't believe what you're talking about? They so desperate for slaves for their plantation. I'm not going to be a good slave because I don't believe in that. I don't care for Farrakhan. Don't impress me like that. He's not better than me. He's not smarter than me. Elijah Muhammad don't impress me like he's not smarter and greater and divine to me. To you, he's not better than me. Why would you want somebody like that among you? You're so desperate for slaves. Jesus don't exist. Jesus means nothing to me. Why would you as a Christian want me to be part of your church? I don't believe that. But they so desperate for slaves. Well, maybe you'll change them. I'm not changing my mind. I don't believe in that. I'm not changing my mind. I always have somebody here, I guess they think they so smart or whatever. I'm going to convert Angel Snub 7 back to Nation of Islam. I'm going to convert him to Israelite. I'm going to convert him to the metaphysical thinking or whatever it is. No, you're not. It's not going to work. I've been there, done that. It's a wrap. It's over. I don't go backwards. I go forward. I am an adult. I don't believe in cartoons. That's good for you. Watching Bugs Bunny cartoons, I'm not into that no more. Now, I do like my cartoons. I like Superman, Batman, and Bugs Bunny and all that type of stuff. I know the difference between fantasy and reality. You don't. There's no such thing as supernatural. Either it's real or it's not. There is no supernatural. There is no man that can just fly with a cape. That's not real. There is no dimensions and realms and all like that. The best we can do is get a microscope and they can see telescopes and they can see different galaxies in the universe or something like that. That's the best that we can do, to my knowledge. I can't do it no more, brother. I can't do it no more, sister. Don't try to convert me. This is the reality's temple on earth. When I begin to think that way, I'm going to take this channel down. It's not going to happen. This is my time. It's time for reality to make itself known. We have been living in darkness for a long, long time. For thousands of years. It's time now that we break that cycle so the human being can graduate into what you call God. You nowhere close to know God right now. You are as savage as a savage can get. Your technology don't mean nothing. You just are a technological slave, a technological savage. You nowhere close to being some God. Nowhere close. You keep talking all these different supernatural things, but yet you still trip off money. How much money can I get? What kind of pretty clothes can I buy? What kind of pretty house I can get? Yeah, but I thought you so spiritual, metaphysical. Why are you concentrating and worried about clothes and money and diamonds and gold? And see, the whole thing don't make any sense. Absolutely, absolutely, Phil. Man is man's greatest enemy. That's right. It is the righteous versus the unrighteous. That's what we have here. Somebody said, yeah, I remember I heard somebody talk about the Egyptians had spaceships. I will say this and get out of here. I'm not going to say that there's no other life exists. I'm not going to say that. I don't know. I don't know that. It's possible. But until we actually interact with the spaceships and these aliens, you don't bother me, I don't bother you, we cool. All this other stuff is imagination. Science fiction. I can't do that no more. Now look, if the Egyptians had the technology and was building spaceships, how could the Romans come in and kick their ass the way they did? It don't make any sense. If you have the technology to create a spaceship, you have the technology to create a badass weapon. But they didn't. And the Romans never saw an Egyptian spaceship. Nobody have seen this Egyptian spaceship. More fantasy, more dribble, more fairy tale nonsense. How does the Egyptians having a spaceship, how does that help me? How does it help you? It don't help you. So you know. How does it help us? It doesn't. And that's my problem. All these things that we know, it's not helping us, clearly. So I don't want nothing to do with it. You can keep playing games if you want. I'm too old for it. I'm not interested. And I will see you at the metaphysical Disneyland, the Moore Science Temple Disneyland, Nation of Islam Disneyland, the mother plane. You can get on the mother plane roller coaster and go up and down and eat you some Louis Farrakhan candy corn, cotton candy, whatever. I can't do it no more. Either I want to keep it real or nothing at all. And the thing about, look, and the thing about these aliens, now almost everybody have cell phones now. So why hasn't somebody been abducted by an alien and you got your cell phone? They don't know. Take pictures while you're on a spaceship or whatever. We don't see that. All of a sudden, you don't hear people reporting, alien got me, alien got me. I have not seen not one video where somebody was abducted by an alien in a spaceship. They turn their cell phone on and we can see it for ourselves. There's no reason why. We got George Floyd on tape. We got a whole lot of brothers and sisters getting killed on tape. Let's see some aliens. I want to see some aliens. Hey, okay. People telling lies. They just want attention. Prove it. You can prove it now. Take your cell phone. Let's see this stuff. Let's see heaven. Let's see hell. Let's see the metaphysical planet X and Nubaron and the mother plane and traces of the tribe of Shabazz and all that. Let's see it. You have the technology now. It's all lies. And I can't do it. I just can't do it no more. And we who come here, we can't do it no more. I don't care if it's 10 of us or 5 of us or 1 of us. At least I know I'm in the company of somebody who is sane. Tired of being around y'all crazy ass people. You crazy as, like they say, you're crazy as a Bessie bug. You don't know whether you're coming or going. And you serious about your craziness. But it's real, brother Taalik. Taalik, it is real, brother. And it's real. I mean, I don't care how sincere you are. It's still a lie. It's still fantasy. It's still fiction. You can believe in Superman all you want to. He's not real. And you're so shamed because deep down inside, you know what I'm talking about is true. But you're so embarrassed and you so shamed, you're just gonna hold on to the lie. I felt shame. I was embarrassed when I learned that the Nation of Islam teachings was a lie. Oh, well, that's life. You live and you learn. You live and you learn. Phil said, Phil said, they are crazy as a pissed off crackhead. Oh, man. Woo, have y'all ever been around a pissed off crackhead? I experienced it one time. Woo, that's bad business. So on that note, I want to thank you in behalf of pissed off crackheads everywhere. I want to thank Phil and Soul Brother 85 and Twin and those in the chat room, those who are listening, and those who will be listening to this broadcast on Facebook, because you know I'm banned. I'm suspended from Facebook for a while. So I thank you for listening to this broadcast. I really appreciate it. I am going to keep it real or nothing at all. I can't do this other stuff anymore. Stop trying to convert me. It's not going to happen. I'm letting you know from the dizzy. It's not going to happen. You cannot convert me. It's over. Okay? Stop doing that. Trying to force your beliefs and your religion on others. Stop doing that. You make religion and spirituality, you're really making yourself look bad when you do these things. And leave the babies and the children alone. They don't know. Leave them alone. Let them grow up and make up their own mind how they want to go. Stop forcing these things on these poor children. On that note, let me get out of here. Again, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for donating to the medical fund, purchasing Sister Noble's book. I am Angel Snuff 7. This is involved. And as our late brother, soul brother, Don Cornelius used to always say, as in parting, I wish us love, peace, and soul. And we already 5,000.